Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and coming soon in Hypixel Skyblock, there's gonna be some big changes to Dungeons. Dungeons has been run mainly by a lot of the armor in Dungeons, but there are some things that have been used in Dungeons that don't originate from in there. But in or before the 1.0 update, they are going to remove the ability to turn non-dungeon items into dungeon items, changing the meta for pretty much ever. So today I wanted to do a couple dungeon runs using those items and just talking about the absence of these items in the future, because some of these are absolutely going to change the game. So if you enjoy this video or if it helps you out, I'd really appreciate a subscription, because not that many people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. It's free, you can undo it later, and it's really epic if you do so. But let's get right into the video. Also, quick reminder, said this in my last video, but I'm doing a giveaway in my Discord. If you want a spot to win 20 million coins, or if you want a spot to just go hang out, talk with some boys about some Skyblock stuff, you should definitely hop in the description below. Click on my Discord, it's pretty cool. We talk about some cool things in there. And as I said, you can win 20 mil. So links in the description for that. Back to the video. So as I said, Dungeons is getting some pretty big changes for some weapons, and I'm going to do 3 different runs with 3 different setups that are all going to be changing in the future of Dungeons and are basically going to be no longer usable. Because if you look at dungeon items, like obviously the stars on them are very helpful and they do a lot. But the main thing that's going to control why things are good in Dungeons is your dungeon level. Because when you have a high level in the catacombs, even me at catacombs 39, I get a 293% stat boost on every single dungeon item while I'm in Dungeons. If you're cata 50, you get a 465% boost to these items. So not having 465% more stats is gonna make master mode basically impossible with these items that I'm going to be using. The first run that I'm actually going to go in and do here is probably going to be the most tragic loss of any of these items, and that's going to be the Terminator and the Juju shortbow. I'm going to be just using Necron armor here, which is still going to be available, but the Terminator and the Juju shortbow are not from Dungeons. These are both items that came out with Enderman Slayer, and they're no longer going to be usable. So that was me using a very bad Juju shortbow that I have, and it's still going to be an amazing weapon for anyone using early game right now. Juju nons are some of the most popular playstyle players right now because of the budget that you can put in and the power that you actually get from using something like a Juju shortbow. But it's not going to be possible anymore because it can't be dungeonized. It's going to be a definite huge change. The admins said that they're confident it's not going to change the gameplay of Dungeons, and I think for the earlier on floors, such as the one that I'm on right now, like floor 6, it's not going to be a insane massive difficulty spike, because to be honest, we got through these floors with pretty much only dungeon items. But nowadays, Juju and Terminator are some of the most used items across the entire game. So seeing these items go, it's going to be huge for gameplay. But I mean, Terminator's just so good. There is no replacement for how good Terminator actually is. This thing is so nuts, and seeing it be gone in master mode, I don't know how you're gonna do the floor. I seriously don't know how you're gonna do something like master mode floor 6 or even M7 when they eventually release that update. It's pretty much just gonna be impossible without a Terminator, unless they make some pretty big balance changes otherwise, because it has been the dominant weapon ever since LCM got nerfed with the sword swap nerf. So it's definitely going to be a loss with Terminator gone. Clearing blood room like this is just, it's just beautiful. It's too good. Look at that. Oh, I'm definitely super overkill for this floor. Cata 39 on a normal floor 6 with a max setup is pretty, it's not going to be difficult. But even if I were going on to something like master mode floor 3 as an archer, you're still easily one-shotting everything at my cata level. If you're a high cata level going into M6, you absolutely destroy everything. And right now, I'm not even an archer. I'm a berserker right now, and I'm destroying this blood room that well with Terminator. How well does Juju do? Let's see. Oh, still pretty darn good. Juju is definitely, it's currently the best budget weapon, I would say. It's not like super budget, but if you're looking at bang for your buck, Juju's gotta be it, and it's gonna be gone. going into the boss room, this is where something like Terminator really begins to shine, because you can just see that going against golems and all these things, it's literally just going to shred them. Once this starts, it's going to just be literally one shot in these guys who are so beefy, typically so strong, and Terminator just, it bodies everything. Juju does the exact same thing, but to less of an extent, obviously, but it's just so good. I can't, like, a lot of the things that are going to be lost, and even the setups I'm talking about in this video, they aren't that big of losses, but Terminator and Juju Bow are they're the meta. They are what is being used. So, like, obviously Kata won't be super relevant in 1.0, presumably, because, like, there's gonna be other things, hopefully, to do in the game rather than just doing catacombs. But right now, it's all we have. Archer is gonna go back to being Bone Meringue Andes. Like, that's not gonna be good. Obviously, I do have to point out that these changes could not actually happen. They could just be like, actually, no, that wasn't a good idea. We're gonna keep being able to dungeonize at least the items that are currently in the game. But they suggested the change, and everything they suggest probably goes through a lot of thought if they're gonna end up putting it in a forum post there. So I can't imagine we'll see a lot of the changes that they make get fully reverted. This next setup that I'm using is a bit of a weirder one, but I wanted to show a couple of the items that can't be used. So right now, I have a Reaper Mask on, I'm using Tier 12 Perfect, and I have a Midas Staff, and none of these items are going to be available in the coming updates when 1.0 actually comes out. Midas Staff is a bit of a weirder one. I don't know, like, Midas Staff might be used as a bridge item for mages, because, like, definitely for someone who doesn't have something like a Hyperion and only has a Spirit Scepter, Midas Staff is going to be an upgrade pretty much no matter what rarity you get it at, like whatever money you spend on it. But it's never been a great item. It's never been used, like, widespread, at least for a long time, because it came out between floor 6 and 7. And it came out, like, when floor 6 had already been out for a bit. Dude, I'm a tank right now, and I'm struggling killing this guy, because Midas Staff is not that amazing. But I'm tanking it out because I am wearing a Reaper Mask, and that's going to be a huge loss. That is going to definitely change up the tank meta, because every single tank across every single era of dungeons has basically only worn something like the Reaper Mask because of the healing it gives. Reaper Mask gives insane healing. It's so good, and it's gonna be gone. Like, I definitely think that is up there with Term and Juju in terms of it being lost. And then the perfect armor that I'm wearing as well, to finish out my tank load up here, just talking about it, it's definitely going to be something where it's not going to affect any of the endgame players, because everyone's wearing, like, gold ore if you're high tier in dungeons. But I know at least in the past, people wore perfect a lot as just something to get a little bit more tankiness on you instead of just being a noob, you know, because perfect definitely has a lot of defense. It's not super expensive to get. So it's a nice budget set for a lot of people who are more just susceptible to dying, I guess is how I would put it. So the Reaper Mask and perfect armor and the Midas Staff all getting removed, also gonna be a pretty big thing for the game. It's actually funny because I'll use, like, Hyperion to teleport while I'm not just, like, recording or saying anything. And this thing's so much better than the Midas Staff. It's actually disgusting how bad Midas Staff is in comparison. And that sucks for Midas Staff, because I thought that it was a really cool item. I thought having that kind of money sink in the game where people actually have to just dip into a lot of their funds to get the best item in the game, that was cool. But it lasted for literally 2.5 milliseconds. So it sucks to suck, Midas Staff. Can I just say that I love how unique the attack on Midas Staff is? That, like, some of these attacks in the game just get so boring, because I feel like a lot of attacks have just evolved into teleport, and that's the whole attack. But Midas Staff, Yeti Sword, they have very interesting things. Yeti Sword is also going to be removed from dungeons, though. We're getting to the point where it's just Bonzo Staff's type ability or a Aspect of the End type ability, and that's all that's available in dungeons. Nothing else. Yo, we whipping out the Juju Bow again, boys. This is still going to be useful for Blaze Room, because it makes it go much faster if you actually quick at aiming and being good at the game. I am not either of those, but Juju bow is really good for Blaze Room, and it should still be good. So yeah, have some solace in that fact, Juju Nons. You can still use your bow for doing a puzzle in the future. And can I just say, once again, in the boss fight of floor 6, Midas Staff, pretty cool. I don't know how it works with this strat where everyone just stands in the middle, because I have literally never seen this done until this day, but I imagine that it does fine. And how does it do against these guys? I'm gonna wake one up. Oh, it does terrible. Oh, it does absolute dog. Someone kill him. Someone kill him. Someone kill him. Okay, we survived. Maybe as a tank, using Midas Staff on those guys is not a great idea. But it's definitely cool for AoE. It looks awesome. So Midas Staff, it might not be a huge loss, but like, what the heck? Where's anyone gonna ever use this item outside of dungeons? Seriously. And for this last one, I'm using a bit more of a fun setup. I'm playing healer, using the tiger pet, using werewolf armor, and the biggest loss of this, because werewolf armor getting, like, no one really uses werewolf armor, if I'm being completely honest here, but I'm using Axe of the Shredded, and this thing being gone is gonna be really weird. But I have not played healer, nor have I played something like this setup in forever. I don't know how many like kills I'm gonna actually end up getting, because getting kills as a healer when everyone else is just like Hyperioning around, not that easy. But Axe of the Shredded with Ferocity has got to be one of the most satisfying setups in the game when it comes to just hearing those Ferocity sounds go. Like, oh, just everything about it. Everything about these Ferocity sounds is just so good. Listen to that. It sucks because I think that this has been the pretty much only healer set that ever got added to the game. So seeing werewolf armor not be able to be used in dungeons, pretty cringe. It's just the only thing that healer ever had to itself, pretty much, and it wasn't even that good of a healer set, to be fair. But it was at least cool to get that extra ferocity and the healing off of the ferocity procs and stuff. It's an interesting set, so seeing it go, you know, I just don't like seeing gear basically get removed from the game, because that's effectively what they're doing in making the items not able to be dungeon, because a lot of these items are never getting used outside of dungeons, and they're only going to get used in really niche cases inside of dungeons. This goes back to Terminator and Juju as well, because when do you see someone really use a Terminator on anything other than dungeons? Maybe in the Nether update they'll add some more bow-based combat stuff, but if you're dealing with combat mobs, most of the time you're using a sword. And that's just because swords are better than bows. So it's just an objective fact. Hopefully them rebalancing the game and just making everything more in line with each other will lead to a better, like, equalness between the swords and the bows. But as of right now, there's pretty much no reason to have a Terminator if you're not grinding Master Mode. And if you can't use a Terminator in Master Mode, then what the heck? Yo, Juju bow time again. Let's go. Let's go, dude. I missed. I'm so bad at this game. I'm legit terrible. I don't get how I have as many subs as I do while being this bad. Oh my god. What? Runs like this make me remember why I don't play dungeons, because we're 7 minutes in. There has been one guy in trap for at least 2 minutes here, and I don't think he's anywhere near done. I don't even know what they're doing in there. There's a second guy that ran in. I could go over, but that's so long of a walk that I figure I may as well just wait here and see how long it takes them. They completed it. They did not actually get it fully done. Oh, it's fully done now. All right, we're entering 8 minutes in. Whew. Once again, this setup in boss fight, absolutely epic. I'm legit gonna go stand over here. Actually, I'm not. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I just want to throw axe down a line of them. Oh, listen to it hitting them. Oh my goodness, listen to that sound. Oh. This one, you only use this setup for the sounds. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It sounds so awesome. Yeah, this setup, it won't be missed that much. I think Axe of the Shredded has a lot of potential to be an amazing weapon a lot of the time in dungeons. It's definitely way more niche, though, than the other setups that I've talked about. Reaper Mask, very used. Everyone uses it. The Terminator, it's useful on everything. I'd say that this thing is more useful on stationary bosses, pretty much. That's the main thing that I would really use an Axe of the Shredded on. And with the one-for-all meta right now, Axe of the Shredded is actually suffering a little bit from that because it's much better if you're using something like Mana Steel, which makes it just worse for melee in general. But it just sounds so good. How can you disrespect it? It's legit just the most beautiful sounding weapon in the game. So seeing it go, it's going to be at least a little sad. So that's going to be it for this video. It's definitely a different kind of video than I usually do, but I was going to do just one where I talk about all of the items that are getting deleted and how it's going to change the game. And I figured that'd be a little boring, so I just threw in some gameplay in there. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you did down below. And that's going to be all. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.